I thoroughly enjoyed my time with Pragmata, but I gotta say, some of the discourse around it sucks. So let's do a different one. Let's talk about
Greek tragedy. No, I'm serious.
The exact origin of Greek tragedy is unknown, but the storytelling tradition is the basis of our modern theater. The tragedies, or plays, were usually based on your Greek myths. Your Zeuses, your Heras, your Areses. You've played God of War, you know what I'm talking about. These legends were meant to teach us lessons. They show the consequences of poor moral decisions, violence, obsession, and other downfalls. That tragic and mythological flavor is all over Pragmata. Your sidekick's name is Diana, the cradle was built by the Delphi Corporation, and if I may invoke the name of the great red letter media,
what was that black goo?
All of those things and more called out to me like a Greek chorus. So if you'll indulge me for a bit, I'm gonna talk about Pragmata starts with a moon landing. Pragmata? This is gonna be another Samus Samus thing for me, isn't it? I'm going with Pragmata. You know what game we're talking about. Pragmata starts with a moon landing. The cradle, which is basically the ultimate 3D printing facility, has been built up there. Thanks to Luna Filament, we can recreate basically anything, even something as massive as Times Square. But as with all good sci-fi, things have gone wrong. The cradle is controlled by an AI called Edis, and it went rogue.
Oh, the AI didn't work perfectly and caused a big disaster instead? You don't say.
Delphi Corporation engineer Hugh and his crewmates are sent to the cradle to figure out what went wrong. The short answer is a bunch of bad robots, and Hugh is the only one who survives when they show up. Thankfully, one of the uncorrupted androids patches him up. Her designation is D-I-0336-7, but that's not a real name, so Hugh decides to call her Diana.
Actually, Diana is a Roman goddess, not Greek. I know, but also most of her mythology is a ripoff of the Greek goddess Artemis.
If you've played the Hades games, or any number of series starring the Greek pantheon, then you're already familiar with Artemis.
Look at you on your great hunt.
Practically anything you can say about her, you can also say about Diana. The Romans more or less copied her legends. They keep Apollo as her twin brother and even designate her birthplace as the same Greek island of Delos. Most notably for this video, she's chiefly viewed as a goddess of nature, the hunt, and the moon. There are also themes of childbirth, which I really don't want to project onto a robot girl who presents as 6 years old, but keep the kid thing in mind for later. Now, one of these comparisons is as obvious as AI being bad. Diana the goddess is a moon deity, and Diana the pragmatic is literally from the moon. It's her home, her domain, if you will. And she's not just from the moon, she's also of it. She's made, at least in part, of Luna Filament, that miraculous material that built everything on the cradle. Now let's talk about the animal stuff, hunting and not hunting them. Pragmata has a few repeating scenes,
or choruses, if you will,
of Diana learning about nature. These range from the classic planetary shot to meeting individual animal species. These are some of the sweetest scenes in the whole game, and each one deepens Diana's bond with Hugh. Butterflies, birds, deer, and other woodland creatures not only help her learn about life on Earth, but they also call back to Diana of Rome being a goddess of nature. Now, as for the hunting part of her personality, yeah, that one is also pretty easy to illustrate. Hugh has the guns, but Diana has the hacks to hunt all the bad robots on the cradle. She quite literally targets them, opens up their defenses, and even turns them against each other if the right hacking nodes are present.
Take this!
The battle system isn't a big part of this video, but I do have to bring it up. The combination of third-person shooting and real-time hacking is so fresh. I'm reminded of Expedition 33 and its turn-based combat paired with Souls-inspired parries. It's such a good combo that I'm sure we're gonna see a bunch of similar ideas going forward. At least, that's my assumption. I don't work for a big corporation. The cradle and everything within it is property of the Delphi Corporation. Given that the company is powerful enough to have a moon base, I'd say it's at the economic center of the world. For the ancient Greeks, the real sanctuary of Delphi was the general center of the world. Here, travelers could visit the Temple of Apollo and speak with the Oracle.
Shout out to all the Redditors talking about this before the game even came out. They inspired this video.
In those days, travelers could visit Delphi and see the Tholos, a large circular building with supporting columns around its rim. Would you look at that? The cradle is also a circular structure, with different sectors around its perimeter. The real power of Delphi, however, was its Oracle. This title was passed down among the priestesses, and it was the most prestigious spot they could have. The Oracle was the consultant of her day. Greeks and non-Greeks alike would seek her out for advice. Her words could even start wars. How does that link to Pragmata? Well, consider this. Ancient Delphi had an oracle who was said to have all the answers. The Delphi Corporation has Edis.
Subject has declined to evacuate. Anti-personnel measures activated.
This AI program was trusted to oversee the cradle and its functions. We've all heard about students and CEOs alike consulting AI instead of making their own decisions or doing their own research. And that over-reliance has led to more personal, professional, and economic shortcomings than I could fit into this video. All it takes is a bad actor or misinformation to bring disaster, and that's exactly what happened to the Cradle. 8, a rogue android who's more or less the evil twin of Diana, misunderstood the words of her creator and hatched a plan to send corrupted Luna Filament to Earth. We'll talk more about that in a moment. To stop her, Edis activated containment protocols that made all the bots go haywire. That's why we have to hack and shoot our way through them.
Don't go defending Edis in the comments, okay? Call me an AI hater if you want, but I don't think protocol should involve gunning down anybody who sets foot on a space station. Also, yes, I am very much an AI hater, and proud of it.
8's plan, coupled with Edis's overreaction, led to the downfall of the Cradle. And yes, ancient Delphi met a similar fate. Fires in the temple, wars over the area, and a few instances of conquering and pillaging led to the end of the Oracle's era. The old ways are dead. It's bad enough that the Cradle system started crashing under Edis's control, but not all of the destruction can be blamed on AI.
Most of it still can be. I'll stop now.
You see, the Cradle has also been infected by dead filament. That's the black goo I mentioned at the start of this video. This is a byproduct of the Luna Filament process, and since that stuff is being used to 3D print pretty much everything, there is a massive, dangerous amount of dead filament filling the station. You might be wondering what this has to do with the ancient Greeks. Well, first of all, that clip I'm using is from Red Letter Media's video making fun of Prometheus. It's an alien movie, but also the name of the Greek titan who brought fire to the humans, so there's that. But also, it ties into Hippocrates' idea of the 4 humors: black bile, yellow bile, green phlegm, and red blood. Hippocrates believed these 4 fluids needed to remain in balance in the human body, and that their imbalance led to sickness and disease. Well, I would say a whole bunch of black bile, aka dead filament, is indeed wreaking havoc on the Cradle.
Yeah, let's do this.
This stuff is severely toxic. It corrupts the robots that were already running wild, caking them in a layer of black goo that we can't hack through. It's toxic to humans too, and Hugh starts showing symptoms of poisoning simply by being around it for too long. You can see why 8's plan to send a bunch of it to Earth is such a serious threat. Even Diana herself gets infected. In some of the tensest moments of the whole game, we carry around her sick body until we can fix her, upgrading her protocols with a cleansing ability that can wipe the dead filament from robots and even blast through hardened spikes that block the path.
Alright, back to the shelter.
Pragmata is far from the only game to run with this idea. Dangerous terrain dots all sorts of video game maps, whether it's burning lava, destructive acid, poisonous swamp water, or the same black goo we see here.
The point is, you see that stuff in any game, you best avoid it.
And when it comes to this game, I see it as another Greek inspiration. Hippocrates may have been way off the mark with his 4 humors hypothesis, but he's still considered the father of modern medicine. Hey, speaking of fathers, so far we've seen a lot of inspirations. Diana, with the same name as the Roman and Greek deities before her, is the moon child learning about nature. The Cradle, owned by the Delphi Corporation, had a rise and fall just like the ancient site of Delphi before it. Dead filament, in excess of black bile, overran and corrupted the station as a part of that. By the time we get into Pragmata's endgame, the full picture of Diana, the Delphi Corporation, and dead Filament come into view.
I have to add one more D word to that list. Doctor. Actually, Dad works too.
Dr. Neil Higgins is dead by the time we reach the cradle, but he's at the heart of this tragedy. He was the lead researcher behind Luna Filament, and he was so obsessed with his work on the moon that he missed his own wife's passing back on Earth. When his daughter Daisy also got terminally ill, he tried to create synthetic organs to save her, but they weren't viable in humans. For safe testing, he built androids with the same young girl's body as Daisy, and we've met two of them, Diana and 8. In the end, Higgins couldn't save Daisy either, and his obsession only led to disappointment, an isolated death, and a dangerous last will.
Memory capture complete, Dr. Higgins.
8 stood by Higgins' side in his final moments, but she misinterpreted his parting words. She's not evil per se, she just thinks that shutting down Edis, taking control of the station, and sending the dead Filament to Earth will fulfill the Doctor's last wish. Higgins' personal downfall doesn't just mirror the destruction of the cradle, it caused it. In the end, Diana gets a happy ending by escaping to Earth, but Hugh is too weak to make the return trip himself. He's able to hang on just long enough to stop 8, wipe the dead Filament from the cradle, and send Diana back. It's bittersweet. You might even say tragic. Like the Greek tragedies of old, Pragmata teaches us a lesson about scientific obsession, over-reliance on technology, and the destructive results of hubris. Props to Diana for getting out of there.
I'm counting on you, kiddo.
Hey, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like what I'm doing here on Framework, you can hit that subscribe button right above me. You can check out some of my other stuff here on the left. You can also sign up for my Patreon there, and that's what these names are all about. So thank you very much to those people, and you can follow that link if you want to be one of them. For now, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.